Welcome everybody to Clever Live once again. It's amazing to see you all here, and what a day to be here. Yesterday we released the pre-sale of the Clever Hardware Wallet, and it's been a smashing success. Thousands of people are already signed up for the pre-sale, and although it's sold out, you can still sign up your interest because there might be someone who essentially doesn't buy it, and then you can still get it. We will set the link down below. But before we go in, smash that like button, share this on Twitter, Facebook, or any other platform that we're live on, of course, YouTube, and subscribe to Clever Finance YouTube channel because this is where it's at. Today, we are bringing you someone who has very intimate knowledge about the Clever Hardware Wallet because he has led the efforts to build it. Marcelo Sousa has a master's degree in teleinformatics, bachelor degree in electric engineering, PMI certified project manager. He has more than 29 years, yes, 29 years of experience in the development of hardware and firmware projects for many companies, including IBM, Dell, HP, Samsung, and Epson. Some of them you might know about. He also has 12 years of experience as a university professor of embedded systems and real-time systems, and is today serving as a professor in hardware and firmware engineering at the University of Fortaleza. And most important of all, he is also the head of the hardware squad at Clever. Welcome, Marcelo.
Hi, Misha. Thank you for hosting me today for this Clever Live conversation.
Thank you for taking the time off your schedule to join me and the entire Clever community around the world to share all of your experience and knowledge and vision for the future of the Clever Hardware Wallet. And it's something that I personally am super excited about as a product, and I know that the community is up in arms to get one as well. So. Before we jump into talking about the Clever Hardware Wallet, let's talk a little bit more about you, so that our users and followers and viewers can get to know you a little better. So, where are you from, and what's your professional background, and what you've done until this point?
Okay, first, I'm the proud father of two girls and a boy, um, and I'm from Fortaleza, city in the northeast of Brazil, which is very known as a touristic place with beautiful beaches and so on. I'm an electrical engineer. Uh, I graduated in 1992. And since then, I started uh, working for embedded systems. During my whole life, during my whole professional life, I've always worked with hardware and firmware development. Um, uh, uh, one interesting point is that since I was a child, I was always sure that I'd like to become an engineer, specifically working with computer engineering. So I'm very happy because I beyond making this specific course, I always work with what I was always willing to work with since I was a child. So I'm very happy with this. Um, Also, I am a professor in a local university. In the last 12 years, I joined this university, and after some background, some experience working for some local companies. Then I started. I split my time in both activities, both working, or even working as a professor. I never stopped working in development embedded systems projects. So in the 12 years, I'm teaching specifically embedded systems. Now I'm specifically in two subjects: embedded systems and real-time systems. But I've also I have already teach some other related subjects also.
Fantastic. And like I said before, it's such an honor in such a pretty young company like Clever in a very young and nascent industry like the blockchain and crypto world to have someone like you. And I do want to know, uh, how did you meet the Clever team and how has your Clever journey evolved so far?
Okay. Yeah. Even in my since my first job when I had just left the university, I had the chance to join a local company that licensed a product for IBM. By that time, the time when IBM still used to make hardware. So I was very lucky because I had the experience to handle it and to be the focal point engineer, to lead manufacturing, to lead all the relation with IBM, to deal with production in São Paulo, and to know all the expertise of IBM by that time, when they still had some fabs here in Brazil. And it was a great experience, a great school for me. Uh, and then after spending 10 years in this company, I changed to other companies, but always working and developing projects for big companies like you mentioned, like Dell and so on. And in one of these companies that I work for, I met Fernando Sobreira, which is the director of Klever Labs. And then in the end of the last year, um, or sometime before, I don't know exactly, but they had inside Clever arise this idea of developing a hardware wallet, and then they decided to search for someone who had experience and expertise in hardware development. And as Sobreira already know me from the experience in other companies, then he invited me, and I was very lucky to be in the right place in the right time, and I'm very proud to be part of Clever now. So I joined Clever in January this year, and in 1 year time, we have already developed our first product.
It's a very impressive timeline and being able to produce something so cutting edge. It's as you've mentioned to me, it's not a production only of the hardware squad, but the entire evolution and production and development of and optimization of the hardware wallet has been an absolute team effort. As you said, there's been so many squads involved and so many different products that already existed inside the Clever ecosystem. Touch a little bit more on that. Like, how has it been to work and develop the hardware wallet using the different squads and teams inside of Clever?
All right, okay. Uh, so, uh, so as a starting point, the first thing was to when I started at Clever was to create and to set up the hardware team, and I was very lucky to get very good engineers that make up all these this project. But also one thing that is very important at Clever is that we have a very big team with specific squads for each area, and specifically for the knowledge and the background and expertise and the enthusiastic people we have, we could make this project because we have a very skilled person in DevSecOps. We have Clever Labs where all the blockchain technology is arises. Um, in marketing, in business, everything in technical support. So we have a very skilled people in each area. Each squad is a very is made up of very skilled person, very skilled people. And one thing that is very unique at Clever, I have worked for many other companies before joining Clever, and one thing that that really calls the attention of everybody that can experience this is the enthusiastic people we have at Clever, because we have not only I have not only colleagues or uh, or mates. We have enthusiasts. Everybody at Clever is enthusiastic by what they're doing, and this is great. This is really a unique feature of Clever.
I can't say I disagree with you for one bit. I 100% agree with you. I've worked in many different companies and with many different projects over the years, and there's really nothing that I've seen that can compare even to the passion and the enthusiasm, as you say, from our team members. And we've grown a lot over the last 2 3 years. We were only 8 10 people back in 2019 roughly, and now we're only over 130. And the people who are joining are so passionate about their specific field of expertise, as you say, and that really sets us apart. But let's jump into the hardware wallet. It's gone on pre-sale, so let's start with what is the Clever Hardware Wallet?
All right. Okay. So people are already. Some people have already heard about software wallets and Bitcoin wallets or cryptocurrency wallets, uh, which are which are applications that makes the transactions and make this bridge with the blockchains itself. Uh, we have Clever has one of the best the best wallet in the market already, and now that's the main idea of the hardware wallet we have, is to add an extra layer of security. One of the key issues when we have a wallet in blockchain applications is security. And Clever Wallet app has already the best wallet, the best solution for security. But if you need even further level of security, then the hardware wallet is the answer for it. Basically, when you make transactions in blockchain applications, the key part of the transaction is the private key, which is like the most secret password to sign and to make the transactions. When you have a hardware wallet, this private key is kept inside a specific and secure hardware. So that's the main purpose of the hardware wallet, is to keep in a private, in a secure, in a specific application integrated circuit to keep your private key. Okay. I hope I have made clear of what a hardware wallet is.
For sure, for sure. And what in terms of technologies that you've included into the Clever Hardware Wallet, how is the development from vision planning to actually execution? What have you put in to this little thing? And do you have one that perhaps our users and our community can see?
Sure. Yeah. Um, we have here, it's not the final, it's not the final device, the final product itself. Let me use here close to my phone so you can have a better idea of sizes.
That is tiny.
So it's a tiny device. It's like a USB device which has a USB port, USB Type C port, two buttons, one for confirmation and the other for cancel the transaction. And in this prototype, it was the first prototype. We don't have here one of the key, one of the beautiful features of the new and the final product, which is the LED in the Clever logo format. So, but this is the device. Basically, the design is the same. We have just made some small improvements, uh, like I said, especially the LED, which is now a very in a very detailed point of the case. Um, to make this hardware wallet, we researched and we developed using the cutting edge technology and the cutting edge components available in the market. We used the microcontroller from one of the most known and the most trustable companies, which is ST. Uh, it's the leading company in microcontroller area nowadays, specifically in ARM processors. Um, and we choose one specific device which has specific and very appropriate features for this kind of project, because we choose one device that has the proper hardware acceleration engines for cryptography and to make all the mathematics involved in cryptography, which are the basics for blockchain applications. And we have with this kind of device we can have performance which is surely the fastest hardware wallet in the market. Okay, we
How
have
do we achieve that?
yes, it was using all this hardware acceleration that we have inside this device. So we have hardware acceleration to improve the speed of the mathematics involved in blockchain applications. So we could achieve this. We have the fastest transactions in hardware wallet. Okay, we have a report that later we will make available to the community. But we have made some tests and we have the results which are really impressive regarding speed of transactions. Also, we have made some specific definitions and development. For instance, the communication for the hardware wallet is through USB connection or Bluetooth connection. Uh, Even beyond the cryptography that is already available in Bluetooth communication, we developed another layer of cryptography, even for Bluetooth. And so we have two layers of security, specifically in Bluetooth communication. And also a patented protocol that we developed specifically for USB communication. So we have developed and patented these solutions because our extra levels beyond all the security, all the cryptography that we have involved, we have also make in the communication and specific treatment to improve security during the communication.
Can you touch a little bit more on Clever's patented approach and what patents have we secured exactly for the hardware wallet?
Okay, it's because USB profiles that we can use for communicating a specific device with a computer or a mobile phone, you have standard profiles. And for instance, for USB, you don't have, like in Bluetooth, you have specific feature of cryptography that can be enabled. For USB, you don't have this embedded and specified directly in the USB specification. So we developed a proprietary protocol with a specific cryptography in the communication itself. So beyond the USB profile, we embedded our own cryptography in this communication inside the packets that are transferred in the USB port. Okay, and the same protocol was also developed and included in the Bluetooth communication. And as a specific and unique feature that we have developed, Then we have patented. We are starting the patent for this solution, which is a unique solution. So it's
Fantastic.
so it's another clever solution.
We do love clever solutions because they're simply smarter than all others, and I think that's an approach that works well when you build a foundation of a tech company aiming to provide billions in scalability in order to ensure that their financial assets are truly secure. In order to enjoy this financial freedom, security is key. It's the basis of all we do. Um, Let's talk a little bit more on the high grade integrated circuit, the IC, and the CCEAL 5 Plus certified. What does that actually mean? And why does that kind of certificate make the hardware wallet even more secure?
All right. Okay. So as I mentioned, the private key is the key, uh, as the name already says. It's the key for all the blockchain transactions, and it's the most secure part of all the operation. So to be more secure, you have to keep the key in a very secure place, and that's why we choose one device, one integrated circuit that is already CC EAL 5 Plus certified. So it's a and specific purpose integrated IC with this kind of certification, which is uh, certification from common criteria, which certifies the level of security of those devices. So now Clever has this solution. It's one of the very very little solutions that has this kind of certification in hardware. So the IC that holds our private key, which is the key that must never be read, must never be accessible by any means by anybody except by the application that has the proper certificate. Because inside the same IC that holds the private key, we have also a specific digital certificate of Clevers. That's what even makes the private key function, and also guarantees the authenticity of our hardware. Because, for instance, if somebody tries to replicate our hardware, which is not an easy task, but anyway, if someone could get and replicate our hardware, he would not have our certificate, Clever's digital certificate, which is inside this CC EAL 5 Plus certified integrated circuit. So, with this kind of solution, we guarantee that every user that has a Clever Hardware Wallet, he really has a Clever certified and authentic product. So you are free from counterfeiting and any other kind of these problems.
Fantastic. One thing that I've used a lot of hardware wallets over the years in crypto, anything from ledgers to Elipals to Trezor and so on. And one of the main obstacles, I would say, is the user experience. It's the fact that the screens usually are quite clunky, they break, and so
Are
on.
small.
And they're very small, they're very ugly, and there's no that feel that you have in the Clever app and the Clever wallet, where literally you are in the future of finance just through the design, through the interface. Uh, how have you been able to bridge that essentially by using the Clever wallet as your interface, and what benefits does that bring?
All right. Yeah, that's one of the another very happy situation where you have already at Clever the Clever Wallet app. So as we had already one of the most uh, uh, the, everybody that uses Clever Wallet likes the kind of interface, the user experience, and so on. So we wanted to keep the user with the same experience. And so with when we were designing the hardware wallet, we were trying to see what would be the best approach for the user. And then we see that we could there will be no other better interface than Clever Wallet app. So we decided to keep all the interface using Clever Wallet app, which is which is already everybody likes this interface. Everybody likes the experience, and we decided to use all the interface through the Clever app. So the user has all the big size of a smartphone screen, all the good experience of a very well designed and very well developed interface. And you make all the transactions, you make all the interface through the Clever hardware through the Clever Wallet app. And at the device itself, you have just to press the buttons to confirm or to cancel the transaction. You have two buttons where you can, here in this prototype, they are in the same color and in a different color, but in the
But
final
in
device,
the device, it will be, of course, to confirm, will be in a beautiful purple, clever color.
right? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we have the confirmation button, which will be in the clever color, and a black button to cancel the transaction. So the user just needs to make this physical interaction with the device to confirm or to cancel the transaction. So it's a very unique kind of solution because you have the experience, the user interface experience of the Clever Wallet app, and you have the security, the extra layer of security of the hardware wallet. So the signing and the private key are inside the device, and the signing is done inside the hardware itself. And the Clever Wallet app works as the bridge for the blockchain applications.
True innovation being spoken.
True.
I love it. Guys, we're here with Marcelo Sousa, the head of Clever's hardware squad. And meanwhile, do post your questions. I see that Sam, the carpet man from Jersey, and many others are posing questions, but do post your questions to Marcelo, and we'll get to a few of them in the end. Let's talk a little bit more about the coin capacity. There's a lot of hardware wallets out there, but they're usually limited in terms of which blockchains are supported and which tokens and coins you can transact with. So, which coins and blockchains will be supported in the first version? And once we add even more blockchains, how do users add them to the hardware wallet itself?
All right. Okay. So as I mentioned, the interface for the hardware wallet will be through the Clever Wallet app. So all the blockchains, all the coins, all the tokens that are supported by Clever Wallet version 4 will be supported also by the Clever hardware wallet. Uh, uh, in fact, the Clever Wallet app that will be compatible with the hardware wallet will be Clever version 5, which is called internally as Clever 5. So Clever 5 will start with the main blockchains and the coins and tokens in these blockchains. So Clever Hardware Wallet will follow the same the same blockchain support, but we will keep improving and adding all the blockchains and all the coins, all the tokens, which are the major ones in the market, just like in Clever 5 will be. So uh, we have already implemented already in our hardware. We have already implemented many blockchains and many coins. All the major ones are already implemented, but we have these plans of keep improving and adding the other blockchains and the other coins during the next months. Okay.
Fantastic. And regarding, let's go back a little bit to the speed, right? It's something that it's an absolute monumental fact about this hardware wallet is its speed. But like in terms of seconds, what are we talking about here? What are the reaction times, and how do we achieve that?
All right. Okay. So each blockchain has uh, specific algorithms and specific computations that are necessary to perform a specific transaction. So some blockchains require additional computation, other are simpler, other are more complex. But for instance, at Tron blockchain, which is a very known blockchain, very used blockchain, uh, we have a transaction time of less than 500 milliseconds. Okay, we have other blockchains which the transaction is less than 300 milliseconds. So this is really the fastest transaction speed in the market. Yeah, the most of the wallets, or most of the hardware wallets you have in the market, they take much more than 1 second of transaction time. So they are much slower. And then with this specific hardware, we have this amazing speed of transactions. So the user experience will be much better when you have this kind of speed of transaction.
Amazing. And regarding tokens, new tokens in the same blockchain, for instance, there are tens of thousands of tokens, ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. There are tens of thousands of TRC20 tokens on Tron and Binance Smart Chain and so on and so forth. How does that work in terms of token support compared to coin support?
All right. Okay. So for the architecture of the hardware wallet, we decided to to develop a specific approach for blockchain support. So uh, the development of we have the support for each specific blockchain embedded in our own firmware. So once we have that blockchain supported in our firmware, all the coins, all the tokens, all the other applications involved with that blockchain uh, are straight supported by our hardware, because the key point is the blockchain calculations, the blockchain mathematics and algorithms. So once they are implemented in our firmware, there is no other additional development for making transactions with all the tokens, uh, all the coins that are inside that use that same blockchain. So virtually, when we have one blockchain supported, we have all the tokens for that blockchain, which is also a unique solution that we have. So that's why we say that we have an unlimited number of coins in our solution, because we don't have this limitation of specific coins, specific tokens. We have basically the specific blockchain implementation, and then we support all the coins for it. Okay. The only thing that is necessary is to have the specific support in the Clever app in Clever 5, which will be done also in the next releases.
Exactly, in the following quarter. Um, we've spoken quite a bit about, and we're tapping into the fact that you come from 29 years of experience inside of hardware development and firmware development, and in the beginning of your career and even in the middle of your career, blockchain technology didn't even exist, and cryptocurrencies, were simply uh, not on the market. It's not. It was
Sure.
just distributed computing and cryptography, but they hadn't really met yet. Uh, the evolution of hardware technology from where you first began to today, how has that been? And where you today work with blockchain technology and enabling an extra layer of security to countless clever users around the world, and how has the evolution of that hardware tech enabled what you do today?
All right. Yeah. As you mentioned, I'm I'm almost considered a dinosaur in the in the hardware, because that's why most of hardware guys today are considered dinosaurs, because most of people uh, are in the same kind of age I am. So, but right, yeah. When I started, even internet was something that was just starting. So I I have the chance to see all this evolution of the embedded systems itself, which is the thing that I'm most involved with, but also all the computing area, all the languages, all the tools, the frameworks, and everything. So when I started, most of the firmware that I used to develop was in the assembly language, which today is very in very special cases you have to use assembly. Uh, uh, Even in our project, in most of the projects, most of the firmware, you have some specific parts of the code that still have to be in assembly language, but just initialization and specific parts of the code. But uh, today you use much more efficient and evolved tools and frameworks and things like that. So, yeah, I faced all this evolution, and even one thing that was very interesting, and one of the things that calls my attention to start teaching in a university, was exactly this kind of experience, to have contact with the new technologies. We can have this access not only in a university, but specifically in a university, we have a broader range of expertise, of people, of areas that are being researched. And this was one of the things that called me to join a university. And in the university, I started learning and start having contact with blockchain solutions in the master degrees, dissertations, in doctorates, in the doctorate thesis, and things like that. And then I start to having to know and to heard about it. Uh, but at Clever, that I had the chance uh, to give a real deep dive in this area. But but I had this chance. For instance, for this hardware that we are developing now, uh, we're using, as I mentioned, a specific microcontroller that is specific, which has specific peripherals for hardware acceleration of cryptography algorithms. Uh, and we have in a single chip, in a very small, very tiny device, which enable us to have such a small device with so much technology. For instance, if we need to develop something close to the performance, to the features we have in this device 20 years ago, we would need something 3 times bigger, 4 times bigger, and many times more expensive than we have now. This is the basics uh, of Moore's law. Uh, Everybody, people from computing area, have heard about the Moore's law, which says the size of the chip reduces every two years, which has been true for many years. Lately, started to be not so true. But anyway, That's the main point that makes things with such a performance and such features to have such low prices today. It's because we have small devices which costs much less than the devices that we had 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. So the evolution makes these things possible. Okay, uh, we have such good devices, such high performance devices in a very accessible cost.
It's truly mind-boggling how far we've come over the past 2 3 decades, and being able to conjoin the hardware evolution with blockchain evolution and innovation is really exciting times. Let's talk a little bit more about what we're building beyond that, and the compatibility of Clever Chain and Clever OS together with the Clever Hardware Wallet. How will they function together?
All right, yeah. We have, as I mentioned, we have the all the interface for the user of the hardware wallet through the Clever 5, Clever Wallet app version 5. So the Clever 5, it's made up over the Clever OS infrastructure. So all the features, all the basics of the blockchain operations are handled inside Clever OS. So that's one of the things that it's amazing at Clever. It's because we have very experienced, very talented people in each squad, and Clever Labs made this available to the other solutions, to the other products inside Clever. So the Clever Wallet, the Clever Hardware Wallet, all of them makes can take advantage of what has been developed for Clever OS before. Uh, and Clever Hardware Wallet is the same. So we have all the power and all the features that Clever OS enables for these other applications at Clever.
Amazing, amazing. Before we jump into the community questions, we do have quite a few very interesting questions from the community. What other products inside of the hardware squad are you currently envisioning and planning to become part of the Clever product line?
Okay, yeah. Um, we have we are discussing some new ideas, some new possibilities and opportunities in the hardware side of products. Some of them are not decided yet. We are still making some researches to see what is more what generates more value to the users, what the users are in most need now, what is the most demanding solutions that the users need now. So we have plans, as we have in Clever's roadmap. We have plans for a secure mobile phone in the near future. Uh, but we have also other devices that we are thinking about. So some of them I don't know if I'm enabled, if I'm allowed to mention, but we have some side applications because as we have already developed this. Uh, it's a tiny device, but as I mentioned, it has many solutions and a lot of tricky solutions and development done inside this small device. And some of these solutions that we developed for the hardware wallet, we we can leverage for other products, and that's very interesting because it opens a huge uh, span of options and applications that we can develop. And surely we will take these opportunities and find the best applications, the best demands from the market, so uh, we can generate more value to the users. I guess that's the point. We are also we don't want just to develop new products. We want to solve the problems of our users. I guess that's the main point. That's what really drives Clever, and that's what really drives our decisions to decide which are the best products that we will develop next.
100%. The user centric approach and the user experience and solving real world problems for users worldwide, that is really the core mission of what Clever is and stands for. So let's move into to the community questions. The first one is, are private keys stored inside the hardware wallet? I'm just thinking of a situation if someone loses or forgets their private key, then maybe they can just hook up the hardware wallet via USB-C or Bluetooth and recover the account.
Sure, right. Yeah. Yes. The As I said, the private key is the specific uh, the specific piece of code that is inside the secure IC. And each device, each Clever hardware wallet has a unique private key inside this chip. It's not. It comes from the factory, so it's not something that we can change. Even in our labs, we can change this private key, which comes inside the chip. So for instance, if a user loses or anyway, he needs to replace his hardware wallet, uh, the private key does not need to be the same. Okay, you just need to initialize, because what makes your account, your hardware wallet unique is when you initialize your hardware wallet and you choose the seed words, which is the basics for creating blockchain accounts. So the procedure is the same as you do in the Clever Wallet app. Okay, you can even restore your Clever Wallet account, your Clever Wallet app account, in a hardware wallet account. Obviously, not in the same device, but you can have you can make this transition. If you have already made you want to keep your same account uh, that you have, you can initialize a hardware wallet with the same seed words, and you have that same account in a hardware wallet in a secure device, in a more secure device. Okay, so there's no problem. It's just the key issue is just to use the same seed words. Then you have the same account.
Fantastic. Next point, what is the point of the Bluetooth connection? Does it need to be plugged in? I mean, there's no battery in the device, or is there a battery? Do you need to connect it anyway?
Right. Yeah. Bluetooth. It's as I mentioned, is an option of interface you have for the hardware wallet. Um, you can use the USB connection or Bluetooth connection. It's up to the user. Some people prefer regarding security. Some people got feel more secure using USB connection, but as I mentioned, Bluetooth has another layer of encryption, so it's a very secure interface either. So also, so but if the user needs to use if the user wants to use the Bluetooth connection, he still needs to connect the device to a power bank or any other USB connections that provides power through the USB. Okay, in this model, we don't have an internal battery. It's also a decision to make the device easier, simpler to use. So when you have battery, you have some implications that you have to care about, and then we decide to start with a device that doesn't need to have a battery inside. At least for this kind of operation, you can make all the most uh, the most the most usable way, the most used way to use a hardware wallet is through a USB connection. So we decided to we decided to focus on this kind of solution, but also we enable the user to connect through Bluetooth. So to make a Bluetooth connection, you need to provide a USB power to the device. It can be a power bank or a USB port from a computer or anything else.
Very interesting approach, indeed. Let's go to the next question. After I connect my hardware wallet to my Clever wallet, would I have an option to view the private keys and seed phrases on my phone, or will you disable it for more security after I connect it to the hardware wallet?
Mm, the private and city key. No, not at all. The private, as I said, the private key, it's a unique code which is inside the secure IC, and nobody has access. There is no option, there is no operation available to read this private key. So as I mentioned, it's the most critical part in the security of all the blockchain operations is the private key. So it has to be kept inside this specific secure device, and there's no way to even to read. You can't read. It's impossible to read. And that's why it's a CCAL 5 plus certified device to guarantee that it's really impossible to read this private key from the device. But you don't need to read it. So it's good that you can't read because it's part of the security. So all the operation is done inside this security IC. So there's no need to read this private key and
Sam,
to
I hope that you're happy with that answer, which I'm sure he is. So to the last question from our users, if the device is lost or stolen or broken, how do we get a new mnemonic phrase that is 12 or 24 words, or do we acquire the old one in a way?
all right, yeah, that's the same. It's the same care that you must take for every blockchain account. You have to keep your seed words in a very secure and private place. You have to take note when you create the account. You have to choose these words. You have to choose these 12 or 24 seed words, and you have to keep them in a very safe place. You can't lose them. Uh, this is one thing that sometimes happen in the cryptocurrency market, but when it happens, people lose money. So don't do it. You have to keep your seed words in a very secure place, and you can't lose it. Some people say that you should keep them in a vault, in a bank, in a very secure place, free from fire attacks or any kind of problem or flood or any kind of situation that could make you lose your seed words. So be be very careful with your seed words because it's the same procedure as in any other account. You have to take note on them and keep them in a very secure place. There's no way, and just to make the answer clear, there's no way to recover or to uh, anybody. Nobody has the seed words, only you when you create your account. So there's no way to clever recover your seed words.
Wonderful. And I do want to address once again, Sam is asking, Sam the Carpet Man, are you saying I cannot access the backup feature from the settings menu from my phone to view my seeds? As Bruno, our CTO, is also here in the audience, he says, yes, Sam, that is exactly what Marcelo is saying. You get, you connect your hardware wallet, and that's your chance to take down the words, and you will not be able to access them again. So
Right.
just to the last question, when new blockchains are added, will it be necessary to update some kind of firmware, or will it be automatic? And any coin that goes into the wallet app that is already available on the hardware itself?
All right. Yeah. As I mentioned, we have already the major blockchains already implemented in our firmware. And if we add new blockchains, if we need to add new blockchain support, then we have to make a firmware update, which is a very specific procedure. You have to, Clever is developing a specific software, specific application to provide this firmware update procedure. So the user will receive a encrypted and signed file, which will provide the new firmware to be updated in the device. So only with this Clever application specific for firmware update, and with this specific and signed and certified file, you will be able to make this firmware update. And then when we have new blockchains available, then we will provide this infrastructure and these files so the user can upgrade the hardware wallet and provide this new support for new blockchains. But we have still many. Is there room? There is still room for many other blockchains? So that's why we mentioned that we have a infinite number of blockchains supported, infinite number of coins supported, and a very high number of blockchains in our hardware wallet.
Indeed. And to summarize a little bit, yes, the fastest response time of any hardware wallet on the market. The security is unmatched due to many different certificates and digital certificates also added to the device, as well as a patented solution for an extra layer of encryption and security, and more coins available than any hardware wallet on the market, as well as probably the coolest and most user-friendly interface through the Clever Wallet app. So you built
Sure.
quite the product, I must say, Marcelo.
Yeah. In fact, Clever has developed. Yes. As I mentioned, our team handle all the hardware and firmware development, but we count on development of all the other squads at Clever. So it's really the whole company are part of this solution, and I'm very proud to count on them and to be part of this new product.
And we are very lucky and honored to have you part of this ever-growing team of passionate, enthusiastic experts around the world. And huge thank you, Marcelo, to you for coming, sharing your knowledge, your vast experience, and of course, all the details around the Clever Hardware Wallet. So thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, Misha. It's my pleasure to be hosted by you today and to talk a little bit about this exciting product that we are launching now, the pre-sale. We still have the pre-sale open, so don't waste this chance of getting your hardware wallet, the best hardware wallet in the market, and we will soon hear about us about new features and new solutions from Clever.
Fantastic. Yes, everybody, you can go and visit clever.finance/hardware-wallet to sign up. Although it's already sold out, there might be a possibility that one or two actually don't complete their purchase, and then you might be the lucky one. So thank you to everybody who joined in live, and thank you for everybody watching later on today or later in the week. And until next time, stay hungry and be clever.